Hi, I'm Ashley, co-founder of Therabyte and pediatric occupational therapist. As a husband and wife team, we built Therabyte because we saw a gap for the occupational therapy and speech pathology community. As an OT myself, I was frustrated by redundant tasks and poor workflow. And so one day, Mike just said, I'm going to build it for you. And here we are. That's how Therabyte was born. I'm really excited to get a chance to tour you through what we've built and how it's going to save you time and energy so that your workflow can be more efficient, getting you back to your why, serving your clients. All right, let's get started. We've created a landing page, especially for those solo therapists who haven't got themselves up and running yet. This gives you a place to start without having to purchase a domain. If you already have a website, that's great. We can integrate these buttons into your website to allow for your clients to take advantage of online booking and online intake. So our page gives a little bit of information, able to add in a picture, shares more about the services that you offer, and again, specifics about each member of your team. So we're going to go ahead and fill out that online intake. So you've got a new client, they're interested in working with you, and they're going to put in some information about their child, and because it's a child, they're going to require a legal guardian. So they won't have an email address and phone number particular to that child, so we're just going to move past that. This section here is your intake form. It's 100% customizable to be specific to the needs of your clinic and some of that gathering that you'd like to do ahead of time. So we've got the parents' information or the guardian's information that we're going to add here now. And we need to set up for the consent as well, especially being a child. So this terms of use, again, is 100% customizable, and a chance also for the parent to put in other third-party that they're giving consent to. So this could be a teacher, another organization, another clinic. And so this will be, the rest of this form will be completed via email. So we'll go ahead and submit that, and we'll submit that intake. Wasn't that fast? All right, so logging in for your clients and for yourself, it's the same. You're coming to your practice URL and choosing that login button. Now we go to the inside of our clinic. So once inside, we'll notice we have the option to add in some different analytic widgets, and then just noting here for any changes or updates that have been made to the system. When we check in here at our waitlist, we're going to see this new client that completed the intake, and we're able to complete that onboarding. So now we want to add in just a little bit more information about this client. They might have a particular goal. This is our simple goal tracker. Super exciting. We have a feature coming up in the next couple of months that is a more complete goal tracking system that will be so awesome and efficient for all of us therapists. So with the simple goal tracker, you can choose in progress, on hold, or you can choose that it's being completed. Once it's completed, it looks like it's disappeared, but it's just right here. So we'll go ahead and just leave that one in progress. Visit preferences, any notes, if you want to mention something about the siblings, any allergies. This is a static note that will be here every time you come back to the client chart. Here's your intake, and they may have filled in the checkboxes, and once they complete by email that consent form, you'll be able to have access to that here. So we're going to continue onboarding this client, moving them from the wait list to our active list. So you can see the practitioner, that's me, that's been assigned, and the primary contact. We can take a little bit more look here. So online access has been enabled, and we just want to also say that this person's going to get email notifications. We can add in another primary contact as well, or update any third-party contacts. In the Finances tab, we have the option to add in a specific contract or funder who has allocated money to be able to work with this child. So we put that money in here, and what this will do is as we invoice, it'll keep track of how much we've been allotted and how much is left. So we'll put in a specific time frame to continue working with this money. We can also specify if there's a particular service. For example, this might be only for telehealth services. So we save that and confirm, and now we are able to get those contract details here. This is where we'll see invoiced items, and we'll come back to that later. Our Files tab is where you'll be able to take a look at all of your different documents. You can also create a new note from here or upload a document. So we're going to go ahead and finish, which is going to initialize this chart, meaning it's creating our first chart note. So if we move back over to our active client list, we are going to find our friend Jane. So here she is, and when we come to those files, you'll see a chart note was created. So that's the profile summary. It's a compilation of the details on initial intake, and you'll be able to see all those details there. If you want to add more, you're able to edit that for 24 hours. Okay, so out of our client chart, we're gonna head into our scheduler. Okay, so the scheduler is where you're gonna spend most of your time. You can collapse this window to give you a little more room. We enabled this new feature. If you're doing a lot of planning in your calendar, you can turn it in to planning mode, which means none of the email reminders or notifications will be sent. And so it just turns that off. So you can play with your calendar as much as you want, and notifications will be sent. So we'll go ahead and disable that for now. So you can see that we've made the scheduler visual to make it easier to take a look and know where you're at in your day, in your week, what things you have going on. So all of our video sessions are red, other sessions or events are blue, personal sessions are yellow. And then we've got these 3 dots. So the 3 dots indicate the different steps of our 3-step workflow. We're going to create a new session for one of our clients. So first we pick our client, then we pick our service. Now, because we're mostly doing video sessions these days, we're going to choose video session, which is going to adjust the location to video session. Just checking in on our reminders, we're able to repeat that session if we want to, or adjust the client reminders. So we've just completed the first step, which is the event creation. So as you can see, that first step is being done. So we're going to pop back in because we want to move this to the next step. So it's going to pop us right into that next step, which is our plan. As you can see, there's already information here. This information is coming from the previous chart note. So the previous chart note is bringing the plan information right up here. We can also add in existing goals. These are the goals that we would have set up in our client chart here in this section. We can also add in a new goal. If, in this moment we're going, oh, we're missing a goal here, we can add that in. Okay, so now that we're planned and ready for our session and we're about to do this session, we'll move forward to that 3rd step. So the 3rd step is where we're going to mark our attendance. You can see each with a different option. So that client attended this session. I'm going to throw in some travel here. Not that we traveled because it's a video session, but just so I can show you on the other end with our invoicing what that looks like. We can make a particular comment about the toileting. Needed, something like that. And then here we can choose from one of our templates. We can change the format, or we can add in a picture. One of my favorite things to do, I love taking pictures of what my clients are working on. With this particular client, it was a routine that we had set up for them. So we took that picture for them. I've got a note for it, and then I can, when I send my chart note to my client, they'll be able to see that too, so they can follow through on their homework. So we can add in any other notes. We can put in our plan. And then if we have more to add in, we can add an attachment here. We can also set ourselves up for our next session. So this client already has a session booked for later. If we're satisfied with the information that we have provided here, we can go ahead and sign. If not, you can save it and come back to it. The 2 dots will indicate that we haven't signed this chart. So it's really so valuable because we can take a look and we can see, okay, we've closed the loop here. Basically, you can take a look at your week and go, huh, I've completed my charting, which is such a fabulous feeling. So we haven't quite finished because this isn't signed. Maybe you wanted to come back in, add in another picture. Maybe you're waiting for a moment of time just to add a little bit more information. But now that you're satisfied, we're going to sign that chart. You have 24 hours to make any amendments to this chart. Those amendments will be tracked after. You can't change what you've put, but you can add comments. So we'll go ahead and sign that, and we're going to get those 3 pretty dots saying we've closed the loop, we've signed it, we're done. All right, so now that we're done with our scheduler, we're going to go back to our notes. So here's another place where you can take a look at your notes. We can filter by client, and you can just see, you can visually see if you have any notes still in draft, close the loop again on those. Just another view. So looping back to the invoicing. So now that we've got some sessions logged for our client, we're going to take a look and we're going to be able to see what has not yet been invoiced and what is waiting to be submitted, something that might be in a draft. So we're just going to add this one session from April that hasn't been invoiced yet. You do have the option to select a period of time. If you do that, it will change the settings that you've put in there before. So there was only one option for this period of time, an item that hadn't been invoiced. You can see here as well that the units for the travel time are there, and we can choose who this bill is going to go to. Is it going to the parent? Is it a private pay, or is it being against a claim? So when it's against a claim, then it's automatically going to update those fees. Okay, you got your totals at the bottom. Now that we have all the information in, we can go ahead and save that. If we need to wait and come back to it, you will see more of your details here. It's because I haven't put those details, your address and your phone number, because I haven't put those. Oh, I have an appointment coming up soon. You can submit it, which just solidifies this invoice. In the future, that will be an insurance integration, and we can send it by email. So we can send it by email to those that have an email address. Okay, so we're going to go ahead. It's requiring us to send it to the funder because that's who is being billed for this session. So we can go ahead and we can send that. It's going to send it by email to the email that we have on file for these two. We're ready to take a look at TB Meet, which is our standalone video conferencing feature. So in TB Meet, this is our other place where we can make our video sessions. And if you do choose to purchase Therabyte Meet as the standalone feature, this is where you will be doing most of your appointments. So we'll go ahead and we're going to walk you through booking an appointment. And again, we're going to pick our service. We're going to pick the date and the time, confirm, and then we just need to make sure we have a client. With that session booked, you will notice that it will indicate the availability of that session here, or it'll show that it's time to join that session. So we're going to go ahead and pop into this session, and here we are. We're going to come into the session muted with our camera off. We have options to toggle our view and some more actions like settings to look at our camera and our microphone, or we can manage our video quality. Over here we have options to share a screen, so you can share your entire screen. You can choose a particular application window, or you can choose a Chrome tab. So I'm going to choose a Chrome tab to share. And what's cool here is we can pick that tab to share. Then we need to pop back over to the tab where we are in our video session. And we're just going to choose to share our screen. So what that's going to do is we're going to see ourselves in the bottom right corner. So you can be sharing your screen and your client can still see you. So thank you so much for joining me on this quick tour, learning how to add a client, use the online booking, scheduling, and how to get set up on your video sessions. So now you're ready to go. Good luck. Have a great time.